What's going on, Pixel Sister fam? It
Hey,
is your
fam.
hi. It is your friendly neighborhood fluffy ninja.
And your pretty gamer, the Sailor Kirby. Not currently in her usual location. I am
I know.
currently on the run.
Yeah, I told her if she's gonna continue to be on the run, then she's gonna have to start paying up because I'm not paying all this long mileage. Long distance is expensive, but it is so
yes,
good to be back in the podcasting space with you all. We missed it,
Mhm.
Joel. We loved Joel.
Yes.
Um, to plain it short for us, it has been a very interesting couple of months for us, if you will. Any up?
Understatement.
Yeah, that is an understatement. Um, I on my end, I got married. I Tati was my one of my maids of honor, and then
Yes.
life just kept lifing for both of us. So it's been what you call
Busy, hectic,
uh-huh
exhausting.
most definitely exhausting because otherwise we would not be here because I'm gonna be honest with you, those days where we're like, oh, we should actually record on this. Wait, do I have to work
Life
today?
got in the way. Oh,
Yeah, pretty
yeah.
much. But we're still here and glad to be with you guys. I hope that you've
Oh,
had
yeah.
a wonderful gaming season and that everything is going well for you guys. So, Tati, you want to tell us any updates on your end?
Uh, you mean personal updates or
Mm-hmm.
just,
Personal gaming
okay.
updates.
Okay, personal gaming updates. Okay, so I had made a bad financial decision. I have pre-ordered Pokemon Legend ZA, a bundle with the Nintendo Switch 2, and I should be getting it within the next week.
Okay. So, sorry, guys. I realized after the fact that my PlayStation was on.
Ha.
So, we're going to let it do its thing. Um, and, oh, anything else? Mind if I go next?
Well, I'm currently being addicted to the game Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It is so much fun. I love it so much. It just finished its like Hatsune Miku event, and now coming next, I think next week or within the next few weeks, they're going to have a Minecraft special. That's where the special paid DLCs characters come in. And this for this month is Minecraft. I know nothing about Minecraft, but it looks fun.
Yeah, no, Minecraft seems like it's a little too difficult for me. That's automatic. Bleh. Only because of the motion. I was like, I'm very sensitive to motion sickness. I guess it's because all the years of me staring at the TV doing Mario. I have no interest. Now I did hear like my not Minecraft, Fortnite then got some great upgrades. Like if anybody has seen the new K-pop Demon Hunters, they have them at you can play them as characters now on Fortnite. So
Yeah.
that's
And
something.
and also apparently Sonic has some accessories in Fortnite, but no Sonic skin. Apparently the fandom is upset about that, but at the same time, unless the Fortnite characters are going to be walking around in Sonic character onesies, I do not need to see an actual accurate Sonic size. That is too horrifying for me.
Really?
Like in Sonic as in human proportions. Imagine you shooting at something and this giant mutant blue hedgehog that is the same size as you running and gunning you down.
Yeah, that I think that will cause a lot of nightmares. So yeah, we're not even gonna go that far with that.
Yeah.
So, but no, guys, we are very happy to be back at our lovely Pixel Sister space. So bear with us as we're getting our lives together on this end. But we're going to go ahead and jump into one of the main things. that we've noticed in this year. And then if you know our lovely friend, the Husky Hokage, he has mentioned this on TikTok. But don't forget to, and speaking of that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at our channels. We have all our social medias up above. Well, sorry, up above, right
Right
in
here.
this area. Yeah, right up in this area. So that way you can continue to follow us in the fun and chaos, as well as our podcast as it continues to reign strong and supreme. So, without further ado, let us go into the first thing I know, gaming news. So, as we have already uh, lovingly found out about Sony and Microsoft, you just couldn't get away with it, even if you wanted to. If you remember, like way back, Sony did an anniversary console to celebrate PlayStation's lovely reign over the gaming community. But problem with that is that the console itself was like almost $1,500. So just like all things around Christmas and Thanksgiving and Black Friday, they do go up. Sorry, not Black Friday, but they go down on Black Friday, but they do go up around Christmas. So Xbox has decided, Sony and Microsoft have both decided that the Xbox Series S with the 512 gigabyte is going to go up an extra $20. So it's not as bad. It's still going to be three. It's going to, instead of it being like instead of it being $379, it's going to be $399. And then the S Series, that's 1 terabyte, is going to be $449, basically $450. And then because originally it was only $429. Then we have the digital series, which is the Xbox Series X. Originally the price was, I believe, $599. Now it is ranked up $50.
And that's not even mentioning the whole Game Pass fiasco that's going on right now. Because Game Pass has jacked up its prices again.
How bad we talking?
I am Googling right now. And from what I can tell, Game Pass has added like an extra. It's like monthly is going to be 30. It's going to be around like $30 a month, where it used to be like $19.99. And that is for like the ultimate price.
The 12 months. Okay, because I try to look for 12 months when it comes to gaming passes, and I thought that Xbox had some.
Yeah, the prices have gone up. It's essentially for the ultimate penultimate experience. It's going to be $30 a month, and I can't math at the moment, but that's going to be relative to like almost $200 a year. Please forgive me. My math is terrible.
Okay. And then if you're somebody that doesn't have the Xbox Series S, Xbox Series X digital, again, the digital one, it used to be $549.99. Now it's close to $600. The disc series, which used to be just straight $600, is now going to be $650. And if you're a person that just loves Xbox in all its glory and you like to be extra, nothing wrong with that. The Xbox Series X limited edition, the Galaxy version with 2 terabyte, is now, it went from $730 to almost $800. So what do we think about this price hike in this initial thing? I'm only talking about Xbox right now, but I'm going to jump to Sony. Yeah, I'm only talking about Xbox right now, but I'm going to jump to Sony later. Because like their prices is gonna be ridiculous too, but still, we're gonna talk about Xbox right now. So Xbox, when did you think that you could start doing Sony prices? Like, I'm trying to figure this out.
And even Sony shouldn't be doing Sony prices.
Yeah, we already knew that though. Like at some point, you gotta know how to not take the L. What was my brain trying to say? In other words, it's like at some point you're gonna have to stop trying to drain gaming pockets. At this point, this is game piracy. You have made this utterly disrespectful, and I don't even know if I want to be a part of this because, like I said, consoles back in the day, I remember when a PlayStation was like just $200. That was like the max that you pay for a PlayStation, and that's if it's used or pre-owned, and that was at GameStop. Now we're looking at you pricing out a PS5 at about almost $600, and then the Xbox, same thing, would only be like maybe $250. From what I saw on the places I went to, and then now you're charging almost $800 for a limited edition. So I'm trying to figure out why the hike. Is it because of the tariffs? Is it because that you just saying screw us? Like, you realize you have high class working gamers out here that earn this money, and yes, some of them don't sneeze at $800, but for the majority that don't have it like that and they actually have to save for this stuff, you're literally making it harder than it has to be.
They're trying to make gaming into a luxury, honestly. And honestly, it is partly because of the tariffs, but it's mostly just greed. Nintendo is guilty of this too. But it's like, as far as like, I mean, we all know, even though Nintendo is the lesser of two evils, they're still pretty evil, even though it's kind of freaking sad that the Nintendo Switch 2, which is like $450, is still like the cheapest option out there compared to like Xbox and PlayStation.
Here's my thing, and I'm glad that you said something about Nintendo, because Nintendo is starting on their BS too, because they're making it to where you actually have to have, what is it, a gaming pass or some shit? Like,
yes, but the thing about that is their whole thing is $50 a year compared to like all of the other stuff where just like PlayStation and Xbox is entering into hundreds of the year. Like, again, Nintendo is still greedy, but it's still,
they're reasonably fair.
I wouldn't say fair, but it's like it's cheaper, but it's still unnecessary that they're charging this much.
And I get that, but it's just the fact that if we're gonna go that far, because I was just talking about PlayStation and Xbox. If we go to the point where we talk about just gaming consoles as a whole, these are, and by far, and I will say it off the top of my lungs, the three heavy hitters of the console game, since a lot of these companies either got bankrupt or they just fall back into retirement. We've seen games that used to be owned by one company now being remastered and put out in another company. Like, we've seen this, right? So my whole initial thing is, if you're overpricing it just for the money, then you're going to lose a lot of business. If you're overpricing just because the holiday season is coming up, then you are literally eye gouging the system when it comes to gamers, because now you're making the environment of gaming more toxic than it needs to be. You feel me?
Oh yeah. And also, to play somewhat devil's advocate, it could be the whole tariff thing, which is a whole nother conversation about our government and how the rotten orange is doing it. But it's like
how we're in a government shutdown right fucking now.
Yes.
And it's just
America's
so
great, ain't it?
Yeah, America's just so lovely. So lovely. Smelling the sarcasm. But no, like, in my personal opinion, you're doing a little too much. Like, you already got, again, we're first class, high working, literal gamers out here either saving for video games, or they can probably buy if they want to, but they know that you're full of BS and they're not going to swipe the card. And you're making it like harder on yourself, because even the average gamer knows, like, when a brand new console comes out, you either buy it that day or you wait a year for the price to reduce. That way, that gives an opportunity for you to be able to buy it. But like I said, for those that got it like that, they can buy it straight out when it first come out. Cool. Kudos to you. Have fun. But for me personally, bargain shopper over here. I follow the code. If I know something just comes out and it's $450, I bet you by the time that 1 year for the Switch 2 to be out, that it will be knocked down either $100 or at least $50 or less before I go and get it. And but you already got yours, right?
Mine, I pre-ordered mine. Yes, I did some smart budgeting to be able to do this. Like, for me, this is the difference. Like with Nintendo, with their stuff, it's going to cost you at best one paycheck. With Xbox and PlayStation, that's basically somebody's rent. And it's right.
Or at least half of it.
At least half of it. But heck, you can't even put Nintendo, because recently Nintendo is upping their prices on their older console. The Nintendo Switch is going to go up a few dollars. The Nintendo Switch Lite is also going to go up a few dollars. And again, playing devil's advocate here, it could be because of the tariffs. But at the same time, there's still some debate of whether or not they're going to happen because of what's going on right now. Right. So if it turns out that the tariffs aren't even going to happen and the prices are still high, that means y'all are just being fucking greedy.
Right. So it's okay. So let's go ahead and go down the Sony's platform right now. So the average PlayStation, from what I have seen, they said their new prices are going to be, for the digital version, $500. For the Pro, it's going to be $750. And then for just a regular PlayStation, now mind you, and this is from my personal experience, when I worked at GameStop, I remember the PlayStation only being like $400 where we were at. Mm-hmm. They just added $150 to the average price right now, and that was for a regular PlayStation. And that's what
that's not even counting the accessories like controllers, stuff like that, carrying cases, stuff like that.
I mean, you already got one controller, and then now you're charging us for you already charged us like $80 for an additional controller.
Yeah.
So it's like, where does it end? Because at this point, controllers are about to be like $100, especially if you fuck it up early.
Yeah. Like, yeah, they're getting to be $100, and it's especially not good if it breaks.
Right. I mean, at least with the Joy-Cons on Nintendo, it's literally what, $8 to replace them, to replace the little switchy thingies, or is it 20 now?
I think it's I think it used to be somewhere between $8 when the first Switch come out. Now it's like 20, and you need to have like a proof that you did purchase this. But but also you can still have them sent out to be repaired. And I think depending on which type of store you go to, you can trade in your busted Joy-Con to get either replaced or have it fixed. But that depends on where you go. But it's still, the Joy-Cons ain't cheap anymore. Like, they were never cheap to begin with, but it's like, oh god,
they done made it worse.
It made it worse.
So I know that, like, this is the end of this segment. So because we're trying to be time worthy. Bottom line in this situation, when it comes to these price hikes, this is me sending a message out to Sony and both Xbox. If your kids are buying this stuff, yes, granted, y'all probably have discounts on this stuff, so you won't have to pay full price. But for the people on the outskirts, on the outs, you are literally no better than the rich keeping people under either middle class or poor if you let this price hike go up. And for those that don't like the fact that this price hike, honestly, I encourage you to either write Sony or call them, or we need to do something, because otherwise they're not going to have too many customers left when it comes down to buying this stuff. As far as Nintendo go, I understand that you're trying to follow the times, but don't get caught up. Don't get caught up.
Yeah, that is the problem with like Nintendo. That is like they always make good games, and all of their games are very quality. But people have complained in the past that they're not keeping up with the times. What people don't realize is, for them to keep up with the times, they're going to start doing the same dirty tricks as the other companies are doing. I mean, it makes no sense that Mario Kart World should be $80.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We are noticing like a high value when it comes to games. Now where games used to be just $50, and it's like you could take that. You could probably split that in half. That's 25 and 25 if you're a budgeting person. And you can get that probably what? In a couple days if you're doing DoorDash. Is almost $80 to buy a game. Or almost
That's
$60 to $64,
Yeah.
$65 to buy a game now. What happened
Yeah.
to the days when they were like 30 or 40? That was enough. But now it's just
It's because of like the whole gaming sphere is spending too much time of trying to make too many realistic games where they're not other than like indie developers, there aren't any like double A ranked games anymore. It's like where you can like buy like a game that is just like it's good, but it's not like $60 worth. You get your
right.
time with it, but it's like, and again, Nintendo is guilty of this too. Even though they don't follow the whole realistic genre, they do try to overblown these games with like so much stuff that is like you kind of don't need all this. Did Mario Kart really need to be open world? I played a little bit of it. It's fun, but it's like instead of putting a freaking double dash mode, you made it open world. All I wanted was a double dash mode.
Okay, explain that, because before we go into like intermission.
You remember the GameCube game Mario Kart Double Dash where you can play as two riders?
Right.
That is probably the most fun Mario Kart in my humble opinion. Like certain Mario Karts, they have certain gimmicks, and that's been brought over to the other games, except Double Dash. And it's like, I want that mode. It was fun. I had that game somewhere at my house. I can't find it, but I have it somewhere. But it's like, instead of making an open world game, which it is fun, I do like exploring places, but it's like, I didn't need this. I would just prefer to go racing. I mean,
I feel that.
hell, Sega is guilty of some of this too. Like, Sonic Racing Crossworlds is also like $70, and it's technically $90 if you buy like buy the actual DLC, which is like a $20, which is like, I mean. But with them, their games usually go on sale, so I'm just gonna wait to get like the paid DLC stuff. But it's
Right.
like most of the major companies, they are all guilty of these price gouging, and it's like just be conscious with your money, speak with your wallet. Like, I can somewhat forgive Nintendo for their new console because it is like $450 isn't that much, honestly, because with all the new features and stuff. But all the other accessories, they brought back the freaking Virtual Boy, and it's like $100. No one wanted the Virtual Boy. Like, I'm glad they're preserving their old games for the Virtual Boy, but it's like we didn't need the accessory. There was a reason why you discontinued it.
I understand. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break for you to see all these things. Sorry, not see all these things. My brain is farted. We're going to take a quick break so we can get some water and stuff. So we'll be back right after this, okay? Calling all cosplayers, artists, and Twitch streamers. We're looking to feature you on our next live stream. If you're interested, please contact us on all our social media or email us on pixelsistaworld@gmail.com. Can't get enough of them Afro sisters? Get plugged in with our Twitch, playing the games you love and the fails we hate. Also, don't forget to join our ever-growing community of gamers. We love to share our knowledge. And you'll also get access to exclusive content we're not showing on TikTok nor on our YouTube channel. Now, isn't that access? Now, let's get back to the show. All right, good people. And we are back. I hope that you pay attention. Also, if you are new to this channel, I am your fluffy ninja. And this is your Sailor Kirby over here on my left on my screen, her right, maybe. Who cares? Who knows? But welcome to the Pixel Sistas Afro Gaming Podcast, where we're all on your news and more. If you are new to this channel, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, in this far left corner here is our QR codes to go see our previous episodes, as well as our traveling episodes series, where we go to different events, conventions, and different whereabouts in not only our hometown, but some places such as Atlanta, Greenville, and I think we did one for the Sonic Symphony, right?
Yeah,
and then go ahead.
Yeah, that was in North Carolina. Yes.
Okay, so that North Carolina, and then other places like I traveled to New York, so that is something that you can take a look at. But that episode is coming soon. But now that we've talked about the price hike and we've already got hyped up about that, now let's talk about my favorite subject. It's going to be short, as much as I want it to be. We're going to be talking about Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc. Now, Tati, you did not go with us to see this lovely thing because you said it's not really your thing.
I mean, I like Demon Slayer fine, but it's not a anime that I keep up with. But I heard it was really good.
Yes, it was really good. There were a lot of fight scenes. And I was like, trigger warning for anyone. If you have not seen the Demon Slayer movie, or you have not gone yet, or you're on the way to, there will be a bunch of spoilers in this moment. So
hold on. I hate to correct you on live, but it's spoiler alert, not trigger warning.
It's trigger warning for the people that don't like spoilers. That's why I said that. So let's put it this way, in the safe way. This is a spoiler alert. If you have not seen the movie, please see it first before going to this section. Otherwise, we're going to fast forward. You can fast forward the YouTube channel right now. But otherwise, so as I went to the movies with our lovely Red, she's our companion in the Pixel Sisterverse. She's one of our guests. We went to go see the Demon Slayer movie. Although I still got beef with Regal and AMC.
Because what happened this time?
Okay, so it's the bullshit. So they told us for months that they were going to go ahead and give us the cups and the popcorn buckets. Even though they were not going to be the same as Japan's popcorn buckets, they were originally supposed to be released. However, I feel like Regal chickened out because we were supposed to have popcorn buckets, and they put it on their website and Instagram that they were going to have popcorn and cups. The cups was going to be like basic cup with the little wraparound logo on it with Demon Slayer and stuff. And then the popcorn bucket was supposed to be like a box with LED lights that's supposed to represent going inside the Infinity Castle. That did not happen, apparently. So, and in the state of South Carolina, we did not even participate in the 9th release for Demon Slayer. However, we were able to go to the release that was on the 11th. I will be doing a video about that separately, but that's one of the other BS. AMC count your days, because I am pissed at you. How do you not have the cups and the bucket and y'all advertised it freely. I've even called AMC on this, and one of the employees was like, "Oh well, we had to save the buckets and the cups for the people that are here for the special release." And I'm like, "Sir, from what your other employee told me, there was no special release. South Carolina was not participating in it, and the only thing they gave us were these cards. That is
Oh,
it."
they're cool though.
Yeah, each card has their own specific layout, but this is all we got, ladies and gentlemen. No cups, no popcorn buckets, just plain cards like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Man, you
And
sound just as disappointed as I was when we went to the third Sonic movie opening night and they didn't have the Sonic blanket I wanted.
yeah, I mean, you still could get a blanket though, but it's like it wasn't the blanket that you wanted. So I was just like, I guess we're just gonna have to look at. By the way, I did look at their merch website. They might have that blanket now.
Sweet.
So just look at
I'm
it.
I'm off to make more bad financial decisions.
Oh my god. Anyway, all right. So
go on.
In the game of that's why I say like AMC and Regal Concho days, because that was messed up. And you did this advertisement from Fandango. If you were a Crunchyroll member of Superfan, you were able to buy your tickets early. Now the problem with that is that it also came with a little keychain of Tanjiro on the front of it. I will display this somewhere in our after this recording has been edited. So once they ran out of the keychains and we did not participate in the early screening, then here comes the movie. Now, Tanjiro did his big one with Giyu in the fight against Akaza. Now, I commend him for that, but that was not the height of it because everybody's still trying to laugh at Giyu because they say back breathing. I was like water breathing first form. My back hurts type memes that's going out on TikTok right now. Y'all ain't shit. You cannot do Giyu like that, especially since I have his hair tie on. Thank you to our best friend Ashley.
But yay, we love you, Ashley.
We love you, Ash. But that's not the main thing that I was hyped up about, and nor did anybody else. Another thing that was hyped up was the fact that Zenitsu finally got his revenge on his former predecessor that was supposed to be handing out. Let me get my brain together. His brother that was supposed to be co-chairs when it came down to lightning breathing. Mm-hmm. And when he got his head chopped off, he was pissed because he said he did not know that Zenitsu could actually do this breathing style and make a secret technique on his own. And this is something that his gramps didn't even teach him. And that's what pissed him off, the upper six off the most. So, and then when we got to the point of everybody was highly upset about how Shinobu died. That was another thing that kind of made it hard to sit through. That a lot of people did not like. But if you're a person that has read the anime and you've read it all the way through, we already knew what would happen to Shinobu. So it's not a surprise for us. But in overall, like I said, it's not a lot of spoilers because I want you to go see it. Demon Slayer did do great. So great that they actually surpassed like movie records. They have grossed over 600 million worldwide. And we're talking about Australia. We're talking about Canada.
And we're talking Canadians.
Mm-hmm. People in different states. Rotten Tomato it received the highest approval rating. Rotten Tomato is the harshest rating platform ever. And for Demon Slayer to surpass that, hands up, I'm happy about it. And then it said that it became the fastest film in Japan, grossing $10 billion. Sorry, 10 billion yen, and set records in the opening box in the US. And we're talking about 70.6 million on opening weekend. Worldwide, 600 million. And it actually surpassed the Mugen Train when they first made that movie come out. So, what is my final take on Demon Slayer in this moment is the fact that it's come a long way. And as a fan of Demon Slayer, I am very proud. Now, whether or not that they said they're going to make the second movies and they're spaced out for 2027 and then 2029. My biggest issue is that there's something floating around right now that says that Demon Slayer is not going to be able to do because of the tariffs. And I'm sitting here like, if you touch this anime or anime in general, you will not like none of us.
I hope please, they don't like us now. Heck, as you know what, I'm just gonna say it. If you want to keep your anime in, please fight back against this whole Rotten Orange regime, because apparently Demon Slayer did so well that apparently the Rotten Orange is trying to put 100% tariffs on it. So it's like, if you love anime, please show this Rotten Orange. Please vote. Please talk to your congressman. Heck, start riots. I am firmly encouraging to everyone to start rioting in the streets over anime. This is the one time where I think rioting over anime will be 100% worth it.
Because if it says Rotten Tomato gave 98% approval rating.
Oh yeah, you tried to ban anime, the geeks are going to rise up and we are going to destroy everything. And it's
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I kind of want it, and I want an excuse to set fire to things.
And just like that, folks, this conversation has went to a darker turn. But
come
no,
on,
guys,
you know it's true.
I know, but we can't do that right now. We have to be adults. But like, guys, in all seriousness, there's a bill in Texas that they're trying to pass, and it gets spread out throughout the country. And it says it's a rumor, but there was actually one article on it, and it was talking about how Texas wanted to ban anime, period. And it's like, you got to understand, depending on the anime, there is a very deep fan base. And if you try to ban something like One Piece,
oh god,
or like Tokyo Ghouls or JoJo's Adventures or like Romy Kenshin, what's another one we can give them? Soul Eater, Farron.
Try banning.
We can go ahead.
Try banning any shoujo. The girlies will rise up and destroy everything.
But it's like, I encourage y'all, and I know, like I said, I kind of veered off a little bit with the Demon Slayer part, but I encourage y'all to make sure you make your voices heard, because all of us, and I will include all of us, grew up on anime. Whether we knew what it was at the first time or not, we all did. So if you have any love for this community and what it stands for, I encourage you to go ahead and, again, call your congressman, call your congresswoman, let them know exactly what this means. If y'all can, and let me put it in a better way, if y'all can go to GalaxyCon and be in line to insult Steve because he gave you abandonment issues from Blue's Clues, then like, that line was from his desk all the way to the escalator or the stairs in GalaxyCon in Raleigh. If y'all can do that, imagine exactly what would happen if we could protect Demon Slayer and all other animes in this situation.
Go out and vote, and if it does go through, go out and riot.
There you go. Figure out which one is best for you. I would encourage you not to riot, but our Sailor Kirby is all for burning stuff down. So I'm gonna let you choose at your own risk and
No,
malice.
I mean, I'm serious. If you feel passionate about it enough, you will do it the legal way. And if the legal system fails you, anarchy.
We have to be very careful about that. But guys, overall, if you haven't already seen Demon Slayer, go ahead and see it. They're making, if they haven't displayed it already, the date of when they're going to put Demon Slayer the movie on Crunchyroll. So just keep an eye on that. But we're going to go to our next segment here, which is what is anime terrorism? Or is it tourism? Tacky or nah? Tourism? All right.
Yeah.
Tourism. Tacky or nah? I'm going to let you start this conversation off because I think this will be our last topic before we have to leave out.
Okay, so basically, if you've been on TikTok, Twitter, all the socials, there has been a huge uproar about anime tourism. Anime tourism is essentially new anime fans getting into, new people getting into anime, and apparently there's been issues going up, coming up because a lot of people have been, there's been a lot of complaining about like things about like stuff about anime culture and appropriation there, and also some other of the usual stuff like sexism, misogyny, the whole the over sexualization of characters, fan service, all that good stuff. And people are blaming this apparent uproar of these conversations because of one, the pandemic, because while everyone was inside, they discovered these new fandoms. There's anime game. It's not just with anime; it's in gaming and other fandom spaces, and people are upset that their fandom has been invaded by tourisms. It's like it's essentially the mindset of you just got into it because it's popular, and you shouldn't have a voice in this community just because you got through it through mainstream ways.
Okay.
That's
And our question is whether or not that's a tacky or is no, right?
It's extremely tacky. Like let's be 100%. Let's be real with ourselves. This is just a lot of unnecessary gatekeeping with because people bring legitimate issues that is with anime. And look, I've been people in our age group. We grew up with stuff like Toonami. We grew up
the old
with
hold on, let's be specific. Old Toonami.
Yes, the old Toonami with
the one you had to wait till like midnight to see. Not and also Toonami.
And also some of us who had like, well, there's technically two Tsunamis. The ones that happened when at midnight, and the ones that was happening during the midday, where they had the kid anime. That's where I first discovered Sailor Moon. So there's technically two Tsunamis, but you're right.
Right. So it's hard for me to even say anything on this because this has been an ongoing topic for a while about the people that just walked into anime and they just don't know like backstories and stuff, or the ones that read and then against the ones that don't read. Okay, let me just put it in this way in the retrospect. Your fluffy ninja gamer and also anime connoisseur, there are some animes that I look at, and there's some that I don't. There are some animes that I remember off the top of my head, and I know the names and everything else. It's gotten so far to the point where it's like Americanized anime, like Thundercats was a thing. But and it's like I probably don't know their names anymore because I've had to adult and I stepped away from a lot of anime because of the fact that I had to get my stuff together. Because you cannot be a broke gamer and consider and buy games and stuff, and you know that you have your light bill to pay. So that's from the space that I'm coming from. Me personally, I jumped back in. I never left, but I jumped back into the space fully when I knew that the conspiracies was over about there's such thing as real gamers or real anime people. Let's be clear. All of us, we may not be at the same critique as the other, but we can agree to one thing, that we all love the same anime, or if we don't love the same anime, we love the genre itself in general. And yes, there are some people that have made it very clear that they don't. I was like, they followed the anime during the pandemic, or they followed anime later on because their friends told them to, and that's cool. But don't sit here and shame them for it. We shouldn't have to gatekeep that. But what really gets messed up is when we have like the people that want to cosplay them, and then when they cosplay them, you feel like they should have took it to the next level, all because you've done the research, you've read the comic, you've been anime, you know how to voice them, you know how to do all this stuff. That's you. You have to be able to differentiate between you versus how somebody else could have did it. This is their imagination. They're just not getting into it. You can't sit here and expect them to do the stuff that you do.
There's a
Like,
weird
let's be real about this.
elitism. Yeah, there's a weird elitism with
Elitist,
certain.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's something like that in cosplay too, where we sit here like they go against the people that do the closet cosplays, the one that buy their cosplays on Amazon. I am a firm believer there is nothing wrong with buying your cosplay on Amazon as long as it is fluffy friendly. But it's like, if you feel like you buy it at a basis because that's where you at right now, that's where you at. I shouldn't have to sit here and put my head on the swivel just because somebody that has read the comics and all the other stuff, or has seen the anime through and through and read the comics, and they felt as if because I bought it online that I am not authentic. No, I am a cosplayer by right and by choice. So if you have a problem with that, that sounds like a PP, a personal problem that you and God gonna have to figure that out on your own. That's just my personal opinion. You can eat dirt if all I care with that.
Yeah, and unfortunately this kind of mindset has been around, with not just in anime but in gaming, and like you said, cosplay too. And it's like, you shouldn't be you shouldn't be in this whole space because you got into it because it's become mainstream. And I'm like, I've been into it since I've been young. When I watched the 90s dub of Sailor Moon, I knew I was in this for the long haul, because I even though, yes, it is a very freaking flawed dub, I hold it to my heart. And even though I discovered better ways of watching anime, I never forgot my roots. And your roots have to start somewhere. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with being a newcomer. There's going to be growing pains in fandom about shipping and fan fiction and all that stuff. Of course there's going to be some growing pains, but I'd rather these communities just be welcome to new people instead of just trying to gatekeep. Because let's be real, in the times that we are in right now, this gatekeeping thing can be coded for things. Because let's be honest, I feel like had it been like in the old days, I pretty much guarantee that the blur community would not be where it is now if anime gaming and all that stuff was gate kept. And they will call us tourists because we found something that we like, but because of who we are as a people, our skin color and all that, especially us as women, especially as Black women, they would not want us in this space.
It is like not a day that goes by that I see here on my Instagram feed, and it is horrible, where Black cosplayers, females especially, when we cosplay certain pale or whatever ethnicity like cosplays, and we're saying, well, you're not this, so you can't be this character. And there's a lot of girls that have redefined cosplay as it is. There's one girl on Instagram right now. She does a chef's kiss of shadow. And we know that she does because her friends, they did for tails and everything else. And she's done nothing wrong. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she keeps getting negative comments because you're black. You can't do this. And I'm like, no, it does not matter. It belongs to all of us. Cosplay, video games, all of it. If it was not for our dollars, half of this stuff wouldn't be as hype as it is. There are millennials and boomer gamers that have taught their kids what it means to play Pac-Man, what it means to like do the original Mortal Kombat. They used to be on like the little arcades. Like we have grown up into this shit. And you have to accept the fact that this is what it is. We have these little people that we have to raise them to be gamers, but if they decide not to be gamers, cool. If they decide not to be gamers, like when they first find out, cool. They'll probably find their footing later on. But you should be the one to be open arms about it instead of being an asshole and saying that because you didn't read the whole series of Fruit Basket or you didn't read the whole series of Tokyo Ghoul that you have no right to sit here and talk about a character. But everybody has a perspective. You're gonna have to figure out what yours is eventually. So, I mean,
yeah, and there's a certain language with the whole tourism. There is this one creator on TikTok. I believe his name is Anime Man Joey is his name. He compared like this whole anime tourism with the colonization of America, and I definitely find an issue for that because that could be coded a dog whistle to a bunch of other things but you're coding it as like, oh, because you are invading my space of anime, you shouldn't be here because you're not doing it correctly or anything. And that gives me pause. Is like, okay, so just because I personally have a critique about like certain fan service and certain anime, and it's like you're going to tell me, well, it's Japan, it's their culture, and I'm like, okay, I respect the culture, but I still can critique. Whereas, like, I do get uncomfortable when I'm seeing panty shots in an anime that doesn't need it.
Right.
And it's like, so we should be able to critique the thing that we love. Just because I critique anime or gaming or whatever, that doesn't mean I don't love it. It means I just want it to be better. But this whole gatekeeping of things is really annoying, and I feel like it's tied to this weird thing of nostalgia because like it's like back in the day, I remember seeing this one comment saying like, I miss the days where you got made fun of for liking anime because that was something that I liked and no normies were in on it. And I'm like, why do you want to be made fun of for a thing that you're like? And it's just like, I feel like you don't really love it if you feel like you need to really covet it. Like you don't want to share a thing that you like because of everybody having thoughts and opinions of a thing that you're like. Which my thoughts and opinions on certain animes, I don't care if you like certain things in anime as long as it's legal. For the most part, you can like whatever you want. And yeah, I'm as an artist, I fully believe that art should be here in its purest form. I don't really believe in censorship, but at the same time, freedom of art and expression does not give you the right. It does not give you a pass of freedom of criticism and mutiny. It's like
so
you decide to draw some icky fan service in your game or something. It's like you're not going to be free from criticism.
Right.
That's all on you.
So I know that we're very passionate about this, but we're getting close to our time. So let's say this, guys. Bottom line is the fact that anime, manga, video games, anything in the blurred or nerd space, it belongs to all of us. And whether you know it or not, there are going to be people that's not going to understand. That's where we come in, the old heads that sit here and say, hey, I understand that you're trying to do this, but let me show you like the way I would do it if you're going to approach this character.
We can learn from each other.
Yeah, we can learn. And then the new generation that's learning, they could probably give us pointers on like different cosplays, different things we could approach by. You're going to have those type of Neos somehow, some way. But that's literally all we have to say about it. If we'll probably
we can go on forever.
Yeah, we can do a separate episode about it, but the time has already hit at the top of the hour 6. So as always, I'm your fluffy ninja. In the flesh, and your Pixel Sisters.
And the pretty gamer, the Sailor Kirby, with her buddy Hamtaro. Yes.
Love Hamtaro. And then, just like that, we're out. See y'all next time.
Bye.